Hey there, Boots Owen here. Welcome back to Outdoor Laundry Land. This is a tumble dryer up on the table saw. Down here is a Miele washing machine, which is undergoing another test and just seems to be working just fine. Found on the street by a friend of mine, Andy, at Where's Wally 606. Just seems to be working, but that's what the noise in the background is. So, meanwhile, up here, Indesit, what's it called? IDCE 8450BH. 8 kilo, B class. Humidity sensor, shoe rack. The shoe rack's missing. I don't see a shoe rack in there. It has a countdown timer on it. It's a condenser tumble dryer, not a heat pump. So in here, you've got a condenser. It's not too bad. I've had a look at it. It's not too bad. The filter has been cleaned, but it's a bit grim. In there, it's a bit grim, but it's not dirty. Well, it's not blocked. It is. Oh, there's a hole in there. Look at that. That's no good. That won't do. A bit of tape's required on that. Maybe that's why. Well, it's not too dirty in there. Anyways, let's turn it on and see if it works. That's what I'm interested in. Plug that, switch that on. Beep, beep, beep. You heard that? Okay, let's close the door. What's it telling me? Empty the drawer. Check the filter. The sun is out and the fan is on. So it's a bit dusty there on that drawer, but that's where the water comes out. So I've got numbers here. Let's have a look. Standard cotton, eco cotton, post dry, specials. It doesn't have a timed cycle by the looks of things. So let's turn it on to 4, which is where it's set anyways. 2 hours 20 minutes. What does that mean? Different layers of drying normally. It's more dry. I don't know what's going on here. Set it to an hour. I think that's time delay probably. Let's just see if it works. That's the alarm, I guess. You can hear it. That means the motor's turning. So then beyond that, if the controller's working, the motor's turning, we have the heating element and we have the water pump that brings the water up to the top. This was left out on the street. I don't know that it's even broken looking at this. If you can hear the fan, it means the motor's working. Around the back, in behind here, I don't know about those codes. I don't know. So what I'm hoping is I'll feel a bit of heat off here in a while. That's what I'm hoping. And then if I do, it's working as far as I'm concerned. And if it's working, I'll take the towels out of that in 1 hour and 19 minutes and put them in there. It's already gone down by 1 minute. I'll come back in about 5 minutes and see if it's hot. That should be enough. So let's call it 4 minutes in. This is warm to the touch. Let's get the old doodly-doo on it. 29, 25, 25, 31 I got there for a second. Something like that. 33. So it is heating up. So the element seems to be working. The element seems to be working in it. I'm going to turn it off because if it's working, it's working, and I can't test the pump unless there's water in it. So what I'll do is I'll give it a vacuum out, give it a good old tidy up. Let's have a look in there while we're here then. I have to open this, push that. Oh yeah, warm and damp in there, the way you want it. That pops off. This opens up like this. One of my most popular videos on my channel is cleaning one of these. There's all tissues and stuff in there. You can just run them under the tap. So I have to clip off. There's a little kind of snap on the inside there on each side. We'll snap that off and open it up. What we want to do is we want to get in here and try to get the front off it, because if we can get the front off it, if I can, it's easier to clean. Now, it doesn't really want to come, which is the way it is. Got one side off. See there's a little, you can't really see there at all. Maybe we can try and show you on this side a bit better. So in here somewhere, there's a little plastic tab thing. Further down there, that's it. And both sides have been disengaged. Pulling apart a bit. It might be clipped in at the bottom as well, I don't know. being a bit rough here. There it is. Roughness seems to pay off. Right, so that's the front of it. You can see in there it's pretty grotty. So what I'll do is I'll vacuum it first. I'll scrape it first with the screwdriver gently. Scrape's a strong word, but just pop out any of that stuff, because what happens is it gets wet as it comes down and then nothing will shift it. See? Do a bit of this. Pull out that stuff. This one would work fine. There's a cotton bud there in the middle. It's a bit gross, but you'd imagine it had gone through the washing machine first, but there's no real guarantee that it had. You want the stuff to come out towards the front. You don't want to push it in, because if you push it in, it might get stuck further in. And then you have to get a bottle brush and start cleansing it carefully, teasing it all through. Well, that seems to be coming out all right. Big gobs of stuff. But it's a lot easier to do this if that front piece is off. Some of them kind of come apart more easily, but this one, you have to snap it like that, right? Oh, we need to wipe that up as well. So the best part of 20 minutes, and that's as good as it gets, but a lot of those pores were blocked. The ones down at the bottom, they look like a grid, but they're not a grid. So there's nothing on the other side there. You can't stick anything through where it is sandy there. But, you know, way cleaner, and the first load will clean out that by blowing it through. This filter has a hole in it, which is not ideal, but for the test, it'll do okay. Replace that. This snapped back together quite nicely, and now it's nice and clean, so let's push that in. The only thing that could be wrong with it now, as far as I can tell, is the pump, although I have the usual suspicion that there's nothing wrong with it. Well, I always start on that basis. I think people throw stuff out all the time because they want rid of things. Okay, I'll vacuum out. There was a lot of sand in it as well. I'll vacuum out that sand and bits, and we've another hour to go on the laundry, so I'll be back in an hour. So a load of towels to get this thing on the road. Let's do that. Better plug it in. Put this one in. Is it going to beep at me? There it is. Now I need to turn it off. Doesn't like that. Let's try doing something else. For 220 dryness. Oh, don't do that. Don't really get that off. I don't know. Let's just press play. I think whenever I was cleaning in here, it seems to have two little strips, one there and one somewhere else. Where were they? Metallic strips. I think they sense the moisture in the thing. I think. I don't know. Play. So I'll give it as long as it takes, and we'll come back. See the wind blowing there. It's been exhaust underneath. Okay. So it's been about 40 minutes or thereabouts. I haven't heard it pumping yet, and if there's any water in that tank, it's just the residual of what we began with. So I'm waiting to see if it'll pump, but I'm guessing, given that I have a load of towels, there should be something good in it. I'm guessing it's not there yet. Well, I've just come around to the back, and it does sound like there's a pump running. Can I get in here at all? Feels like something wants to come out. pump units up on top here. And that's all dry in there, and that pump's running, look. There's a float switch there. Now, I would have reckoned that whenever the switch was down, because I can hear it clicking, that's up and that's down. There's no moisture in there yet. The pump probably just works. There's a bit of crust on the outside, but that shouldn't stop it working. Just give that a clean off. There is water coming in there. There's a little weir and there's some snots in here. Let's see if you can see them. So the water, I think, comes in here, and there is a little weir with some water behind it. And I guess it's meant to come over that into here where there's quite a bit of snot. They call it snots, it's lint and stuff. And it's bone dry over here where there's old, crusty kind of, what do you call that, residue. So I'll get that out before this fills up. I think we're doing okay here. Don't know why the pump's running though. It shouldn't really be running the whole time. It's as if the micro switch is broken in the float or something. But it is a nice design, quite repairable, I would say. Alright, let's figure out how to clean this out now. Something like a miniature wet and dry vacuum cleaner. There we go, bit of snot, blue. It shouldn't be running the whole time. It's a bit strange. You can hear it better there. Quite a bit of water in it, I might flush it. Oh, you can hear it pumping and it made a mess. Seems to be working. Doesn't seem to be clicking back in the way it was before, but there it is. That's it. Just needs a bit of a push. Right. Well, we'll leave it to it. I'll check on it again. I had a look on the internet, and if you type in Indesit water pump tumble dryer stays on all the time or something like that, the first two answers you get on Google are Boots Owen's videos about a different, I think it's the Indesit heat pump tumble dryer I gave to @Where'sWally606. So further on down anyways in the results, apparently these pumps stay on all the time, and the float switch only operates the water full light and disables, in turn disables, I guess through the control board, it disables the heating element, which I think is one way of doing it. I don't know about leaving it running all the time, but that pump will probably run forever, so I'm not too fussed about it. It just seems peculiar to me to leave a little pump on all the time. I guess it could be slightly more efficient if it didn't, but then you'd have your float going up and down all the time, and maybe that's seen as a bigger issue. So there must be a light in here somewhere for the float switch water full thing. I guess it's that one there. Empty the tank. Can't see it here, but oh, I opened the door by accident there. Just leaned on the door and it opened up. Now, 10-year sticker. Did we figure out what year this machine was? We didn't, I don't think. How would we figure that out? Sometimes there's a number on a part inside. Sometimes you'll get a number on a part inside, but I don't know here. I could do Beko's serial number 705. Does that mean it's 2017? Don't know which way it is. Somebody will know. Let me know in the comments. And Balfi, if Balfi's watching this, Balfi might be able to validate that pump thing. If that is the case, there's nothing wrong with this machine, and why it was left out on the street is beyond me. People have their ways. They replace things in their kitchens, or they just never use them maybe. It doesn't look to have been much used. I think a lot of the dirt on it is from me getting it home. I slung it up onto the buggy today when I was out for a walk, and had to kind of half carry it, half push the buggy, so the thing was basically resting on my arms, which I don't think I'd do again because it's a lot of work. I think I'd go away and get it, come back in the car, or on the, well, in this I'd come back on the cargo bike, because the cargo bike will take a washing machine, but it'll also take a tumble dryer quite easily. The washing machines are a bit heavy on it. I don't think I need this warranty sticker. Oh, hold on, here we are. 0315, that makes it 9 years old, this being 2024. I guess that could be about right. 9 years old. 9 years maybe seems about right. There's also stuff over here, the sticker here. That says 2012. It's on the old rating with A+++, so that rating will all have changed. This will have fallen down to off the scale F or something like that for tumble dryers. It's halfway through if it's going to do 3 hours. I don't know if it is or not. In fact, let's just open it up. Pop. Our big hot heavy mass. So hang on a second. That's not turning, you know. So maybe we do have an issue. That's just cooking. So maybe there's no belt in it. Well, maybe I'm learning something here. Right. So it's just it's not agitating at all, even though the thing's running one way and then running the other. Gonna have to take it down and take the top off it, I think. So it's come back to where it was after I plugged it out and took the top off. That belt is there, but it's just lying on top. So it's gotten snared or something and broken. Conti Tech. I can turn it off again. It's amazing how well, like, it was drying those towels. Conti Tech, oh, what's that? I can't read that. Something 1991. There's a date on the drum, 2017, which makes it 7 years old. I don't know what we're stuck on there. The belt's shredded. That's why it's thrown out. 6PHE 1991. It looks like a 6V belt. 144002145, maybe. The belt has a 2017 code on it. It's hard to see. I might have a spare belt in the cellar, but if I do, I think you have to pull it all apart a bit to get in at it, which is a bit tricky. So I'll give the top a vacuum off, and I guess we'll crack on with that, because it looks a good machine otherwise. I'll go and see if I have belts. I think I have a box of belts somewhere.